Hello Star Seekers. This is Jeannie from Horoscope Forecasts 369. Whether you're an Aries or a Pisces, we're here to guide you. Let's cut through the cosmic noise and dive into today's horoscope predictions. Thursday, July 27th, 2023. The astrology of today, all signs. The moon spends the day in Scorpio, increasing the emotional intensity and boosting our ability to focus. We seek emotionally satisfying and involving activities and challenges. The Scorpio moon sextile with Mars this morning brings good energy for research, analysis, and purposeful work. However, as the day advances, we're influenced by Mercury's Queen Kinks to Neptune occurring at the end of the day, which can challenge our decision-making confidence. We might waver with uncertainty, or we're inclined to daydream at the expense of productivity and clear communication. There can be some mental disorganization to manage now. Today's Aries horoscope. Discussions today and this week often revolve around love, the past, feelings, and affections, dear Aries. The focus is on trying to make sense of something intellectually. With Venus retrograde, the past is a big topic now, and this can be an illuminating time. However, consider that if something didn't work in the past, it's unlikely to work now unless it's changed and developed. While you and others may be busy mentally, emotional distance can figure strongly now, or you become more aware of it. While your romantic life or feelings are complicated these days, some analysis and review can lead to interesting ideas and a new perspective. You may be questioning whether you're deriving personal fulfillment or satisfaction from certain areas of your life, and clues to these things can emerge today. You might reconnect with an old love or friend or learn something new about a previous relationship or your feelings. Today's Taurus horoscope. Discussions today and this week quickly turn to the past or areas of emotional dissatisfaction, dear Taurus, as Mercury and retrograde Venus align. Much attention turns to unresolved relationship or comfort issues, and you're now looking at old problems from a new perspective. Love can be a tricky topic, even if our intentions are good, but you stand to gain new awareness or clues about a complicated matter. Further information can emerge, or strong memories prompt you to muse about the past. You're inclined to analyze and intellectualize right now, but it's important to note that your mind may be working much faster than your heart, and while curious, you may not be entirely ready for certain things. However, it's a fine time to analyze whether your current living conditions are serving you well. Be fair and non-judgmental, but take your time processing everything. Understanding any unrest or lack of fulfillment you might have with current living conditions can figure strongly now, and it's a good process. Today's Gemini horoscope. You're in excellent shape today to do some redesign or review, dear Gemini, although it may be best to wait to finalize things. Today promises new insight into relationships, interests, and projects. The tendency is to analyze and sort things out, particularly with feelings and affections, as Mercury meets retrograde Venus. Solving problems, particularly of the intellectual or mechanical variety, is in focus. You may be trying to make sense of old relationships. Or, you may be reviving old projects and receiving news that prompts a new perspective on a past matter. You could gravitate to a past project or study with renewed interest or discover that a current course of study or venture is no longer fulfilling you. Discussions and thoughts revolve around satisfaction levels, love, or complicated social situations, and you might gain further information that gives you more clarity on a matter that has confused or even haunted you. Still, it's important to note that the picture may not be complete. Today's Cancer horoscope. As Mercury and retrograde Venus align today, dear Cancer, personal finances or personal possessions and questions of ownership can become a topic. It's a better time for review than for making important decisions about your assets, but don't discard things coming to your attention now. Even if they require further thought or adjustments at a later date, this is a good time for analysis and review. Backtracking can involve going over matters from the past dug up recently, particularly surrounding love, feelings, pleasure, valuables, and money. You get a second chance or look at a project, purchase, or association, and relocating a lost item is not out of the question now. Someone may let go of an item you want, for example. It's a powerful day for gaining further information about a matter that's helpful, but it's not the full picture. Consider it a step-by-step process. Today's Leo horoscope. Others are interested in you and could talk about you quite a bit more than usual this week, and especially today, dear Leo. Mercury and retrograde Venus align in your sign, and conversations tend to turn to you or revolve around you. While you're more inclined to express yourself, someone else may hold something back or hesitate. Alternatively, conversations or meetings can turn to unresolved matters, and you can get potent reminders of the past. New information about an old issue can figure strongly now. While it's an excellent time for rethinking and reevaluating personal plans and projects, there are better times to make final decisions. It may be better to consider possibilities and keep plans open, since there is likely more to the unfolding story later on. Even with some signals crossing, your personal magnetism runs high, although you might be focusing a little too much on the intellect temporarily. It's best to watch for misunderstandings. Today's Virgo horoscope. As Mercury and Venus align in your solar 12th house today, dear Virgo, more information could surface about a matter that could help you make better decisions about the future. For now, however, process and digest things rather than finalize, since Venus is retrograde. Nevertheless, it can be a busy day for thinking and analyzing. Conversations or musings can help illuminate the past meaningfully for you, and the focus is on love, feelings, and past relating patterns. While discoveries may be about affection or satisfaction levels, your ability to detach just enough from emotions benefits you the most for the time being. You might be inclined to talk about personal matters, although you tend to leave some of the deeper things out. Keep in mind that your mind is moving faster than your heart, so you may want to avoid bringing up certain topics. Today's Libra horoscope. You're in a good cycle for considering whether you're getting enough pleasure from your social life or projects, dear Libra. Today, you might learn something significant about someone from your past, or a conversation with a friend can quickly turn to the past. You're more inclined to live in the mind than dig deeper today, with Mercury aligning with retrograde Venus, and this can be very useful, but only to an extent. Watch for talking ahead of yourself, as your heart may not be ready to talk or know about everything that piques your mind's curiosity. Today's transits can stir up a desire to make sense of certain feelings or relationships, but you may only have part of the story. Take a fresh new route for expressing yourself and interacting with others by reviewing matters rather than rehashing them. Today's Scorpio horoscope. Mercury aligns with retrograde Venus today, dear Scorpio, and it's an important time for reevaluating your projects and goals. You might learn new information about an old matter, and while the picture may not yet be complete, you're one step closer. You have an exclusive window into the past that helps you make better decisions for the future, but it makes sense to reserve judgment until the picture is complete. With Venus retrograde until early September, you may be dealing with temporary problems with career projects, your image, or relationships, or you may be returning to old projects and rounding them out. While you're giving much thought to your career and its path, today is about looking back and analyzing. Keep things open and watch for racing ahead, because your mind is curious. Likely, your heart is not yet ready for it. Complications come into stronger focus today, but you can approach them differently as you perceive them from a new perspective. Keep a safe distance emotionally if you need to draw conclusions. Today's Sagittarius horoscope. Through conversations or musings this week, dear Sagittarius, you can gain significant insight into mysteries from your personal history. A new perspective can see you redefining some of your beliefs, ideals, goals, and dreams. With Mercury and retrograde Venus in alignment, you might see which approaches or expectations you had in the past that sent you along the wrong path. Do consider that you're likely living in the mind and temporarily overlooking the emotional side of matters today. As such, avoid letting your communications run ahead of you. Sharing knowledge with someone can be especially rewarding. Still, it's important to keep conversations on a light level or to take extra time to process your feelings before making bigger decisions. With Venus retrograde, there is likely more to the story of your emotions and satisfaction levels, so while your assessments are valid now, things must evolve further before you truly make sense of them. Today's Capricorn horoscope. The day promises to be busy, dear Capricorn, and there can be a lot to do and discuss. Discoveries are likely to be of an emotional, private nature, and you're giving much thought to the past now. A conversation might occur with a love interest that quickly turns to the past, or a conversation with someone from your past might spark up. Whatever the case, feelings are a big theme today, and it's very past-focused. Even if things seem roundabout, it seems necessary to illuminate where you stand and what you will take forward into the future. New and surprising insights into intimate matters can surface as you review, reassess, and process what it means to you now. You're also inclined to imagine what you'd like to change for the future. You're in the position to play detective and might find clues that give you a new perspective on an old issue. Mental detachment can help objectivity, but consider that your heart may not be ready for where you're going mentally or conversationally. Today's Aquarius horoscope. Love, affections, feelings, or pleasure are in stronger focus today, dear Aquarius, but try to avoid the trap of communicating and relating in patterns that no longer serve you well. Staying too rooted in old approaches can lead to problems now. Look for improved methods of connecting so that you're learning and reviewing rather than rehashing. Today is, in fact, strong for gaining a new perspective on an old matter. Learning another person's viewpoint can broaden your vision, and you may look back on a situation with new eyes. If the ball seems to be in the other's court now, recognize that it's not about control or power. Instead, it's about sharing the spotlight. Negotiations can figure strongly now, and it's a time to be as fair as possible. Learning new things about a previous relationship can figure strongly, or there can be new clues that help you round out a story. Today's Pisces horoscope. Someone is taking a very keen interest in you, dear Pisces, and your personality is shining, although you may feel a little detached or undecided. With retrograde Venus in alignment with Mercury today, there can be a stronger focus on your feelings from an intellectual standpoint. You may see where you stand, but be aware that underlying matters can complicate what seems to be positive communications. Our minds may be way ahead of our hearts today, and conversations or thoughts might head to places your heart isn't ready to go. You might learn something surprising but useful regarding your work, however, or your feelings about your daily affairs, services, or job. Past matters or even people have a way of resurfacing now. You can resolve many problems through brainstorming and reviewing with unique insight into whether your ventures, particularly those related to health or work and daily affairs, are genuinely fulfilling you. Conversations or information coming in today and this week can lead to reevaluating these matters. As we wrap up, I'm Jeannie thanking you for tuning in to Horoscope Forecasts 369. Remember, these are guides, but your will shapes your destiny. Like, share, subscribe for more astro insights, and let the stars guide you until we meet again. Take care.